Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and a new Nigeria is certainly possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, once again, we are here to have a discussion on the things that are happening in Nigeria. As you know, reports coming in from France suggest that Chief Bola Tinubu is hurriedly, barring any last-minute delay, Chief Bola Tinubu is on his way back to Nigeria amid the aircraft seizure. Whether he's coming back with the new aircraft or he's coming back with the old one or a borrowed one, that we'll find out when he lands in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. And of course, we'll be bringing you the things that are trending at this very moment, as Tinubu, as we know, has raised the passport fee for all Nigerians to get their international passport from 35,000 naira to 50 naira to 50,000. That is for 32 pages. And of course, the one of 62 pages goes for as much as 100,000 against the 70,000. Of course, Nigerians will say this is not new and we are being used to it. But again, this is a government of Tinubu, for Tinubu and for his associates. The Nigerian future is already mortgaged to Chief Bola Tinubu and his family and his associates, as we now get reports coming in that NNPC is officially Tinubu controls nephew controlling across the selling points in Nigerian filling stations, all acquired by Tinubu's nephew or controlled by Tinubu's nephew. So whichever fuel you're buying at any filling station that is NNPC is no longer Nigerians' sovereign wealth is going to. Recall reports that we discussed yesterday said exclusively that Tinubu has mandated them, that is the same NNPC, that Tinubu has mandated them to sell petrol at half the price that they buy. And who are they selling it to? They are selling it to OVM, H, of course, and the other filling stations that NNPC is controlled. But we'll get to that very news. But before we get to all the other things that are happening in Nigeria, the OVAH energy marketing, the new energy sales points, and all of that, let's start with what is happening in France. Is Tinubu coming back with the 150 million US dollars Tokumbo aircraft, or is he coming on a chartered private jet? That is what we want to get from the reactions coming from people, and want to get straight to that. And with me to discuss all of this and give the reports coming from the outside are well-meaning Nigerians who are joining us virtually. But let's quickly start with Lord K, who is just getting in. Lord K, we got news coming from Canada. I want this to get quick to Nigerians. Canada, a court in Canada already authorized this Chinese firm, according to reports, to seize one luxurious jet that is warehoused in Canada for a long time. I don't want to get into how our Nigerian jets have, been in Canada, but now that seizure is being reported, the Chinese are taking steps to taking back their aircraft. And of course, news coming in suggests why Chief Bola Tinubu demanded that aircraft first land in Nigeria through other proxies. Can you please tell us what Nigerians in diaspora are saying about what is happening in France right now? Thank you.
Well, good evening, fellow Nigerians. Good evening, Obedients around the world, and studio and Zoom panelists. Well, the story of the fraud master will never end. The story of the Jagaban will never end. Jagaban is actually now Jagabaning the country. He's Tinubulizing everywhere, and he is now actually showing his skills, how he got his certificates, how he got all those documents from GCSE to the end. Now he's displaying it to Nigerians. Now, this is somebody that has, the Chinese has actually gone to court around the world. They've seized every asset Nigeria has, especially the 3 Tokumbo planes he has actually acquired. Plus, let's leave the Cadillac that he bought that is in Nigeria, that is driving him from the airport to his house. Now, these planes now, the particular one that he has actually negotiated so the Chinese can release to him, so that Nigerians will believe, so that Nigerians will take that fraud away from their thinking. Because if the plane does not land in Nigeria, there's no way he can actually come out to explain that, oh, he has acquired this plane for $150 million. There's no way he's going to explain it. So that is why he made that arrangement, that they should please, he actually paid for this, he paid for it, that they should please let this plane come and land and then pick him up, take him to France for his treatment, and then take him back to Nigeria. But now he's in a hurry because the Chinese, I think they are smelling something. They are smelling a game here that this man wants to do something with this plane. So he's in a hurry now to get back to Nigeria with this plane, to prove the point that, oh, Nigeria actually acquired this plane, whereas the funds he has used for this plane, is something that he has done a different deal with. He has done a different business with that phone, but he wants that plane to just like serve as a front for it. This is the kind of person that Nigerians have actually voted. In fact, Nigeria didn't vote for him. That has actually bought his way through Mahmoud Mohammed, Yakubu, into Nigeria presidency. This is the fraud we have been talking about, that Nigerians should be very careful of. But then you've got a few or some stupid Nigerians still running around with his APC, with his party talks, with his mandates and all this nonsense. You still got them running around campaigning, oh, Tinubu this, Tinubu that. The same thing they did when he was coming for the election then. Oh, he managed Lagos. He was the best manager. Oh, he's this, is that. All he did in Lagos was confiscate Lagos affairs, all Lagos funds into his pocket. Into his pocket. And the same thing he's doing with Nigeria right now. My friend is going to be talking something about the fuel, what is happening with the petrol and everything. But now, we can all see that this man, all he has in his head is fraud, fraud, fraud. Nothing good, nothing fine, nothing of any use to anybody. What are we going to do about him? Are we going to sit down there watching him and just waiting to see and pray to God to come and do? God is not going to help in this issue. God is not going to help in this issue. We need to start something, and then God will help us out.
Okay, okay. There is news coming in, from different sources, and of course, also from the diaspora front, that is claiming that there's the major reason why the Chinese release that very particular aircraft for Tinubu, for it to land here first. There are serious insinuations that it has to deal with if the Chinese confiscates that aircraft while it is still in France, that Nigerians may not believe Chief Bola Tinubu and his cronies that they actually spent $150 million US to purchase an aircraft. So with what is going on out there, do you think it is correct by that insinuation that the aircraft came here as a result of trying to make Nigerian people? It was state managed. That was what he said. Even Sowora actually mentioned that is state managed for the aircraft to come in so that they can claim that they have done the deal, but it is now sent back to the Chinese.
Absolutely. That's the deal that he actually made with the Chinese. That is the arrangement. Because if not, after the court order that the Chinese can actually seize these assets wherever they are, I don't see any other judge or any other court system that will release those things. He has gone to pay seriously to just let him use these jets to at least let the jet land in Nigeria, and then people will see that, oh yes, this is what he has bought. This is what he has bought. And then they will take it back to France, where they have ordered the seizure. So, gentlemen and ladies, if you have a president that cannot be straightforward, if you have a Senate that cannot be straightforward, if you have a Fabio that cannot be straightforward, what are we still doing with them? What are we still doing with them?
Okay, very quickly, this issue of Tinubu raising the passport price up, some reports also coming in suggest that in one way or the other, he's trying, the tax net is widening the tax net to see how he could be able to recover all the money that is continuous impoverishing the nation. Because this is not, if it were for people in diaspora now, we say, oh, he wants more remittance from people on the outside. But it seems like the people in diaspora are not to pay any added money to get new passports and all of that. But Nigerians that are now trying to get out of the country due to his own economic policies are now being hit by heavy passport payments up to 100,000 naira. So first, anybody who wishes to travel has to consider paying Tinubu 100,000 naira before he can even make any other move at all. What is your take on that?
That's another joke again that we came across. The good thing is that personally I have jumped that hurdle because my passport, I renewed it last year. I renewed my passport last year. So for the next 10 years, kobo, he will not see from me. He will not get my kobo. Now, why is this man doing this to Nigerians? This is somebody that actually signed 70,000 as minimum wage. So you mean to tell me now that a Nigerian will only will spend his full wages for 1 month to get that 32-page of passports, or if they want 64-page, they have to work for 1 full month and a half to go and order for a 10 years passport. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of government are we dealing with? What kind of human being are we dealing with? Is this man actually Nigerian? That is what we should be asking ourselves now and onwards. Is this man actually Nigerian? Because nobody actually can certify his parents. Nobody can certify where he actually came from. He just emanated and called himself that Yoruba name. Nobody knows his parents. Is he actually a Nigerian? Because no Nigerian will have this kind of hard-hearted, nonsense dealing with our people like this. Nobody. So you mean somebody that is fed up of Nigeria now cannot leave Nigeria anymore because he cannot afford the passports? You will not allow them travel. You will not allow them stay. Huh?
That is the starting point. That is the starting point, Lord K. The passports being raised to 100,000. Of course, there are options of 50,000 naira for people who wish to Japa and the rest. But of course, you can go to comment section. Tell us what you feel about this. Is Nigeria getting better? Go to comment section, tell us how you feel. But Lord K, let me quickly go to our next guest, which is Kenny Willis. Why I had to tell you, Lord K, that there are certain people who feel that Nigeria is turning into a government of Tinubu, by Tinubu, for Tinubu, and they are all in unison saying that the future of the citizens of Nigeria is already mortgaged to Tinubu and his family and associates. That is an expression that is shared by Atiku Abubakar and others. Of course, we also have our own Aisha Yusufu, who said that Bola Tinubu will soon change Nigeria to Tinubu and Sons Limited. So, Kimi, Knowing that we are looking at Tinubu turning Nigeria to Tinubu and Sons Limited and all of that, what are your take on this very thing? Recall that NNPC said that Tinubu instructed them to buy fuel at 1,000 something, which is the landing cost of the petrol. They are buying and they have been mandated, according by NNPC, to sell it at half price. And they are selling it to OVH Energy Marketing Limited, and which of course we know they have an association with New Oil Energy Limited, which are all products of Tinubu and also managed by Tinubu's nephew. So when we talk about the main resource of Nigerian wealth and coming back to selling to all Nigerians are buying. So people who are actually saying that Nigerians are actually buying fuel from Tinubu directly, they are not wrong. What are your thoughts on this?
Good evening, Mr. Kanu. Good evening, Zoom panelists. Good day, Obidient worldwide, wherever you are listening from. Nigeria, we've entered one chance.
Absolutely.
And I can only say that we need to brace up for more of this. This is just the beginning. Chief Tinubu has captured Nigeria, and he's trying to make Nigeria Tinubu empire. The issue of NNPC OVH, recall some months ago, NNPC claimed that they have bought not Major, they have bought OVH. And if a company buys a company, it therefore means that the other company ceases to exist.
Correct.
But how can a company that bought another company now decided to go to court to file a petition to say, court, I am no more interested in this business. I'm going to hand over this business to the man that I bought, the company that was already liquidated. It's very, this is very clear that these are just the scheme to take over our national assets. And we are seeing this play out on a daily basis. And Nigerians are looking, and we are just watching, clapping, thinking nothing is happening. Before we know it, all of us would have been bought out of Nigeria. And then it will become Tinubu Nigeria Limited. So this is what it is. All this subsidy that we are trying to say we are paying, or the under recovery or whatever, obviously is going to Tinubu and his family. We all know the people that are behind OVH. OVH is a subsidiary, downstream sector, the marketing sector of Owando PLC. And Owando PLC, we remember, bought Unipetrol way back then. They went further to buy Ajib. Now they have become Owando PLC. So, and Wale Tinubu is the group managing director of that company, who is a relative of Bola Tinubu. So we can see where this is coming from, and all the Malta connection, where it's coming from. So this is what it is. And Nigerians have been impoverished at the expense of Tinubu and his family. We are paying exorbitant rate in petrol, diesel, kerosene. I just read on the paper today that kerosene has gone as high as 2,400 naira per liter.
Per liter, correct.
Yes. So you can imagine this. So all of this is going into one person's treasury, and at the detriment of over 200 million Nigerians. Does it mean that Tinubu is the only businessman that knows how to do business well? Is it that we don't have other people who can do this business better than this? Because they are using advantage of their position. Because he's the presidency, and of course he has given undue advantage. There is no more level playing field in the oil and gas downstream sector. So some people have more advantage than others. And while we see other companies in the down sector who have the capacity to do better, shrinking down because of government's policy that is not allowing them to breathe. And at the surge they have gone under, they can no more compete with the likes of Owando, who has now turned to NNPC. So this is what it is. Nigerians have been robbed. We have been shortchanged because we have someone who is at the helm of affairs who never have no good intention about the country. All he was just there was to grab it, run with it, and then do whatever he wants to do with it. We see all manner of corruption going on in this government. We see all manner of things happening everywhere. I mean, things that are not supposed to be mentioned, but we see it happening. Things that in the time past were done secretly. We are seeing it manifestly doing in the open. This is what it is, with all manner of impunity. So I'm going to say that Nigerians, like I've always said, we should brace up and be ready to see more. If we are not ready to take this country back, then we should be ready to receive more of this shock, because it's going to happen on a daily basis. Thank you so much for the opportunity to intervene.
All right, thank you very much, Kini Willie, joining us from Calabar Municipal. Now, quickly, Mr. Tony, before I get to our own Reverend, let me just bring this in so that I want a very quick response from you, Mr. Tony. Do you see one cuisine, for any reason, being the commonest thing that is being used by Nigerians? Of course, gas also being used, the cooking gas. But kerosene going for 2,400. Is Tinubu now targeting the poorest of all Nigerians? And let us also not forget the fact that that when Kini just explained, suggests that almost all filling stations in Nigeria now are selling for Chief Bola Tinubu. Tell us what your take is. And I recall that while in Enugu, can you also tell us whether the passport office in Enugu State are already going for a passport for 100,000 naira? And what are the reactions of the people who usually throwing the passport office? I recall one in Oka and then one, I think, US distant in Enugu. So, Tony, please tell me quickly what your thoughts are on this.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Kanu, thank you for having me. The thing is, Nigerians who want to get the hell out of this country will do that, no matter how much he raises the passport fee. They have to, because they are tired of this country and they can't wait to get the hell out of here. So he can raise it to 200,000. They will find a way. They will find a way. This is what is going on here. We all know that the harder they make it difficult for Nigerians to have a good life, the more they want to get out of here. So they will find the money.
Well, is it fair? Is it fair?
How is it fair? Is anything they're doing fair? Nothing is fair in this government. Corruption everywhere, ripping people off everywhere, lying. They're just and getting away with whatever they want to do. And
this man erased passports, erased kerosene. So what does he want the ordinary man to do then? Kerosene that anybody and everybody are trying to manage to use. Petrol is out of reach now. Kerosene again now is going out of reach. Man.
That's policies he made when he was sworn in has gotten this economy bastardized. And since then, everything has been messed up. This regime, and even David Hundaye said it repeatedly, that we are trying to elect somebody whose record is criminal in every way. And he laid out all the criminalities this man has been involved throughout his life. And some people didn't say it. And now everybody is saying it. And it's like he has a magical power that he has silenced most people who were supposed to be agitated, talking, resisting. And everybody is like watching and waiting. How long is it going to be like this? How long will we, as citizens of this country, just fold our hands and do nothing while the situation is getting worse? It's not getting any better. Nothing is getting any better. Things are getting worse day by day. Tomorrow, who knows what else will go up in prices? When they can wake up tomorrow and say, well, the cost of traveling from here, from Lagos to Abuja, if you're traveling by road, you pay a certain amount of tax, and nobody will do anything. Nobody will stop him. We can talk. Some people will talk. Some people will criticize, as we're doing now. But do they listen? They don't listen. They are just humiliating Nigerians, disgracing Nigeria as a country, and they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. How far, how long can this go on?
Tony, talking about the corruption you just mentioned, that reminds me of a report that just came in that this Olayemi Kadoso, that is the CBN governor, may have entangled himself in a web of breaches of official protocol and abuse of office. In a scenario sent to an investigation led by Jim Obaze, as we know, who is investigating who is hired by the federal government to uncover Emefiele's activity while in office. Now, multiple credible sources within the bank have now raised severe allegations against Governor Kadoso and his 4 deputy governors. And they are accusing the leadership of Kadoso, who is a henchman of Chief Bola Tinubu, of infractions that indicate weak systemic controls. Among the allegations is reported upgrade of annual housing allowance for the governor, that is the CBN governor and his deputies, to nearly 1 billion each. Now, all 5 officials already live in luxurious residences in Abuja, as we know, upscale, of course, Maitama district. Now, what justification can there be for this level of indulgence? And of course, There's somebody who, of course, who works in CBN, who is, pleading anonymity, said that in quote, that the CBN's leadership should exemplify modesty, not opulence. That is what they said. But that revelation is that the governor and his deputies, not just about that 1 billion naira upgrade on a house, but upgraded their international travel privileges from business class in an airline to a first class ticket. Usually, normally, instead of them traveling economy, but they chose to go business. But this time around, they are going for a first class ticket from Abuja to New York, which we know cost more than 15,000 US dollars. And again, how can they justify such luxury when the average Nigerian is struggling to afford necessities like the common food, rice, corn, agbado, whatever they call it? It's just, and again, another source, credible source coming out is that when they do travel out of the country, they also earn an increased 7,000 US dollars per night, their travel allowance, meaning that they could pocket over 50,000 US dollars for a week-long trip, including additional perks, of course. People might decide to give them this. So this is a brazen, I don't know what you call it. When you keep mentioning corruption in this very Tinubu and Sons Limited company called Nigeria, I weep. How can an average Nigerian owns a minimum wage of a mere 70,000 naira, and we have these people talking about 7,000 US dollars per night. Per night. Anyway,
is part and parcel of Nigeria's culture now. So we should find another vocabulary to describe what is going on with our officials, because they are reaping this country, barefoot. The other day, and talking about the CBN governor, you know what they said? If you're in a company, you watch what your boss is doing. If he's a rogue, okay, you want to imitate your boss. You want to steal. If he's a straightforward person, you will do the same. You walk and be clean in your dealings. Now, when Tinubu is buying all these luxurious items, living grandioses, what do you expect of the people working under him? They will do the same, because nothing is being done. They will do the same. They're sharing the money they recover from MFL, 130 billion. The people working for Tinubu now had to cut their own share, 54 billion, and share it among themselves. Yes? Why not? Because nobody does anything. It looks like he has some supernatural powers to blindfold us, to make us look inept, make us look dumb. Everybody, it's like they don't know, we don't know what to do to this man. And he's getting away with it, and he will continue to get away with it unless we come together and get involved and say enough is enough. Otherwise, we're going to be in this situation for God knows when. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's quickly, get our own Reverend Pete to complete this very discussion. So, Reverend Pete, this same Kanu, what happens to the CBN governor, who is among the Tinubu and Sons Limited managing Nigeria. Like we said, it's a government of Tinubu by Tinubu and for Tinubu. Please, Reverend Pete, can you tell me your thoughts on Kanu earning $7,000 per day, having going out of Nigeria? 1 week of his stay outside of Nigeria, he's making over 50,000. And there's also, he is also accused of hiring a consultant that he pays 30 million naira. 30. They call it a media consultant. 30 million naira per month. These are the people managing Tinubu and Sons Nigeria Limited, called Nigeria. What are your thoughts in all of this that is happening, Reverend Peter?
Thank you for having me. And I want to thank every listener, wherever you are listening tonight. You see, there is something that we must know, because Tinubu, as they call him, or our president, has become something that have developed into a crony government. And it remains so because he has discovered that wherever you turn the Nigerians to, that is where they turn to. And wherever you kept them, that is where you meet them again. So, and I am surprised that we are still talking about corruption, which we have already known has become a cancer in Nigeria. It's especially the government of Tinubu for the past 1 year. We talk about Buhari in the past, but it's like what Tinubu said that he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped is exactly what he's doing. Okay, look at how can somebody traveled and is giving allowance that is more than somebody who is at work. For 1 week, you earn money that is more than 1 month salary of another person.
Look, Reverend Pete, I don't agree with you on that. You cannot. There are some people that live on $50,000 for 1 year. For 1 year, that somebody's earning in 1 week for free.
Yes, in a situation, in a situation where you have a responsibility. Most of these people travel for fun, not necessarily representing the country, because we know that for instance, like the president here,
Tinubu,
he do travel, and he do earn allowance. Even the allowance that is paid is not a hidden one. Everybody knows it. But when he's going, you must know exactly where he's going and why he's going. And when he comes back, he gives report to the house what he has done. So it's not like somebody just wake up and he said there is conference somewhere, or there is a meeting somewhere in Europe, in UK, the government representative, and he went and come back without telling the people of Nigeria what he went to do and whether he succeeded or not. That is what we are talking about. Because you cannot be money for the work you never do. The Nigeria that is the Nigerian taxpayers that are paying your money to and flow, and therefore you have to let them know what you got there for and how it concerns them. You
Yes,
don't go out.
While you are still on that topic, sorry to interrupt. While you are still on that topic, note that when is France, that they are talking about him now hurriedly coming back to Nigeria. Since he has gone to France, we have not seen any news of him meeting the president of France like they all spoke about, because they said it's a state visit that, and even the Chinese, they lied to the Chinese to release the aircraft for them, citing, because it's from the Chinese that we learned that he was going to meet the president of France, and that's why Chinese was releasing the vehicle, the aircraft, by the way. So now we have not seen Tinubu, meet the president of France. Neither have we seen pictures or videos of anything, and he's about to be on his way back. What are also your thoughts on this, Reverend?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That if you are going for a trip, and the country must know, because you are working for the country, like it is here. There is no way Pedro Sachet can travel out of this place on official visit, even personal, say it. So they must know why he's going, and when he comes back, and how far, because they own the money that you are using, and that is the same thing. Okay, this, I said, this man is subtlety is not yet known to Nigeria. This man is very cunning, and he can trick the monkey without even holding a banana, and the monkey will come down. That is why people think that he's using mercy. No, because he has studied the Nigerians and saw their way. Look, we are talking about the oil something. About I think about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about Dr. Ogaru, who said that Tinubu has oil well about 17 oil well in data, and that the son Wale Kule and the Wale were the one managing the oil well. The business of Oado, that is the oil well in Malta, and that this man is paying subsidy for himself, and he has also given a country 50 trillion for his own self. I said it here, and the thing is coming to
information. There is a latest information, Reverend. The latest that the NNPC, has already handed over every filling station in Nigeria, retailing fuel, to be managed by Tinubu's nephew, and that's why we say it is Tinubu and Sons Nigerian Limited.
Belongs to Tinubu, and so when this lady talked about that they sold, they wanted to give out NNPC to private, and so that the government can absorb, and they went into that privatization, and after Obasanjo had left the government, they came back and tricked them so that these people, they will return the contract they get and cancel it, because these same people were using it. They know that if it enter into public hands, then their own is finished, and the business has been taken out of the amount. Yesterday, one manual was talking about this case again. That's about 3 days ago. He was talking about how the NFPC, how they are running the place, and that the NFPC will come up to say that the people are consuming about 17 million tons. But meanwhile, the number is about 35,000 liters per day, which Nigerians are consuming, and so that they can inflate it. And it's in order for that to say that Malta is importing fuel from Russia, or substandard fuel, which they pass through this Tinubu refinery from transport to Nigeria, and that they sold this fuel for Nigerians, and this fuel is substandard.
Okay.
And diesel.
All right. Reverend, can you please help us to round up our time? Can you help us to round up within 1 minute?
You see, the only thing I want to say here is that Nigerians, when we are ready, because I see another storm coming, and this storm is coming as another protest, and that protest is going to be so dismal that the government cannot stand it, and that is what I will have to stand up for. Let us prepare for it, because the Tinubu cannot convert Nigeria into a personal property, because Nigeria is a nation. So every Nigerian should put it in mind.
Much, Reverend Pete. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Pete. I see say, Lord K, your ma they do mui, but you know, judging that our time has gone, and also talking about protests that Reverend Pete just mentions, I just want to bring to your notice that several women has taken to the streets in Nigeria here protesting against what is happening to Dangote oil refinery. As we know, up till now, there are deliberations and there are a lot of things they've been talking about this thing, but Arewa youths take to the streets demanding the sale of crude oil to Dangote, and that is what is happening. I just wanted to bring that up. But Lord K, if you have 30 seconds to give us your last word. 30 seconds, please.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. I wanted to break down this fraud in the petrol and in the fuel system. Now, we all understand that, yes, Tinubu has this refinery in Malta. Okay, the exportation of Nigerian crude, they're saying that, oh, the Nigerian crude is going to one country, going here, going there. But I tell you something, all this crude that we're talking about, they're all sent to Malta. They're all sent to Malta. Now they are buying it back. Tinubu is buying it back at 1,200 to the Nigerian market. But then 1,200 to the Nigerian market, and then he's now telling Nigerian depots, Nigerian stations to sell it at 600. I will understand something here. That's 600 naira shortcut. Now, these people that are selling it at 600 now, they are also buying it and then selling it to fellow Nigerians. Selling it to people at the petrol station for about 900, 800 or whatever. Why is this happening? Because Tinubu is actually now in control of the petrol. Anything petrol, diesel, kerosene, anything about crude oil, he's in charge of it all in Nigeria.
All right.
That's why he has put his nephew, put his family everywhere, and they are confiscating the funds, confiscating every funds of money from Nigerians.
Thank you, Lord K. The time, we've just run out of time, and of course, we'll continue with that very
our discussion until tomorrow. Please, wherever you are, where you're watching us from, and you're just on to Obidient
Family TV, please do like, share, subscribe if you're a new person. Until tomorrow, when we come back with the things trending in Nigeria and the news across Nigeria. Bye for now.